What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk to you guys about something which has happened over the course of the last 5 days, something that has caused me immense stress in regards to Pokemon and my Pokemon store. As always, I want to be as transparent as I can be with all of my viewers and all of my customers, because I think that's why you guys enjoy listening to me, is because I give you as much facts and as much details as a business owner in regards to Pokemon as I can. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you can just take on some information from my side and perhaps learn a couple things so you don't fall into the same trap that I did. So to begin the story, I want to say a couple things about my store. I was really proud about the fact that I would ship internationally. It didn't matter which country you lived in. If USPS or DHL or FedEx could ship to you, then I could ship to you. All you had to do was take care of the cost of the shipping. So if it was $14 for maybe a couple cards, then you'd pay the $14. If it was a booster box, it might be $30. Didn't matter where you lived, you just had to pay for the shipping. I've always been proud that I've shipped to like Australia and Asia and Africa, the Middle East, Europe, South America, of course all over North America. There hasn't really been an area which I have not shipped to, and I've always been really happy about doing that. This story begins back during a live which I was doing. Basically, a person in chat was asking, can I ship to Mexico? And of course, I didn't have any issue with that. I said, yeah, I ship internationally, I ship worldwide. I don't like the idea of discrimination against any country or any area in the world. If you can afford to pay for my shipping, then, you know, go at it. Because I am under no illusion that it is very difficult in certain countries to get Pokemon products. I lived in the Middle East as a kid, you know, from the age of 10 to 18, and that's where kind of my Pokemon fizzled out. I stopped collecting Pokemon cards around that time because in the Middle East, all you got was fake Pokemon cards, and I didn't really care. I'd play the Pokemon games because when I went back to the UK, I would always pick them up. I would never collect the cards because they were just impossible to get. And so if my store can provide some Japanese Pokemon cards and the odd English cards for you guys that you can't get from Japan, then I'm always really happy to do that. So do I ship to Mexico? Yes, of course. Ship anywhere. You just have to pay the shipping. So shortly after my live, I got a handful of orders in over the next 5 days. I got in 3 different orders from the same person, and that same person I knew was from the YouTube live because they had the exact same name. Their YouTube name was the same as their real name, so I knew that that was them. And also they had asked if they could ship to Mexico. This order was my first one to Mexico, so it just made complete sense. So I'm going to show you the orders here. So the first order was for 2 items, Champions Road and a Charizard VMAX card. The second order was another 2 Champions Road booster boxes, and then the last order for this series was a Super Burst Impact booster box and a Remix Bout booster box. I'm under no illusion as to why he picked those items. During my lives on a Friday night, I go over certain sets in Japan which are rising in price, or things which I think will rise in price, or why something has risen in price. The Champions Road one I said was my favorite one, and I think is a great one to invest in. Shockingly, he bought 3 of them. Super Burst Impact and Remix Bout were 2 other ones which we talked about. Those ones were just going up at the time. And then another 5 days later, take a guess at which set he bought. We've been talking about it a lot on this channel. It is Dream League. And what did he buy? 2 Dream League boxes for over $100 each. So all of this totaled to around $950. 4 different orders, only, you know, 10 days apart, and paying, you know, around $40 to $50 shipping every time, because when you buy 1 booster box, it's around $30. But if you buy 2, it's around $50, because, you know, USPS is all about the weight of something. The more you buy, the more expensive shipping gets, obviously. And so it was clicking in my brain at that point that, oh, okay, people are getting interested because, you know, I said something on YouTube that they want it, and this dude has a lot of money because he's spending a heap of money on this stuff. And if you guys don't know, Shopify is quite good in the way that you get paid almost immediately. It's usually the following business day that you get paid, and it takes 1 to 2 days to get into your account. account. As a Shopify website owner, I accepted all kinds of credit cards, all the major credit cards, as well as PayPal. So about 50% of people pay via PayPal, and then the other 50% pay via credit card. And this guy actually paid via credit card. I don't check the payment method for people. It just takes too much time. I have like 20 orders per day, and so I just kind of like accept it as is. But I did find it weird how frequent he was purchasing stuff. Quite often people overseas will message me on Instagram and say, hey, I'll pay for 2 booster boxes now, and then I'll probably buy another 2 in a couple of weeks down the road, but I don't want to pay shipping this time. I want to pay shipping in 2 weeks. So I'll just buy the booster boxes, won't pay for shipping, and then in 2 weeks I'll pay for the shipping plus another 2 booster boxes, so it saves them from paying that shipping. So this guy was paying, upwards of like $150 total, maybe closer to $200 total on shipping, because he was buying every other day. And I did find that rather strange, because it's a lot of money just to like throw in shipping, where he could have probably got all of this for like $60 instead of like $150, $200. Anyway, hindsight is 2020, So that was February 10th was the last purchase he made. And then on Monday evening at 10:33, I just come home from class, just had dinner, getting ready for bed, and then an email from Shopify appeared, and it said there was a chargeback open for order 1271, and order 1271 was the one with the Super Burst Impact and the Remix Bout. This was the beginning of the chargebacks, and it reads, the customer told their bank that this order was fraudulent, and their bank has returned $218.68 to the customer. So all that money he spent on that order was returned to him forcefully, may I add. So just as a parenthesis, credit card companies and banks can literally charge back without you basically knowing all that money. So that money was inside my account. It is now gone. On top of that, they charged me a $15 fee for the chargeback. So not only am I getting screwed because this guy has stolen product and then taking the money back, the bank is now screwing me because they want $15 for being fraudulent or whatever it is, and asking for this chargeback. So I've not only lost my product, not only lost $218.68, but I've also lost another $15 on top of that. I turned to my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. I had like an inkling, I had a feeling. I didn't want to be that racist guy that was like, oh, I don't want to send it to Mexico. Oh, they're just gonna scam me. I just took it as, it's a person from Mexico who wants my stuff, I'm going to send it to them. And I immediately turned to her and I was like, I'm never going to see those boxes returned. I'm never going to see that money again. Thankfully, though, Shopify kind of sends all the evidence they have at the time to the bank, and they're sending that evidence on March 12th. So it's a long time, March 12th, between February 15th to March 12th, that's like a whole month almost without that $200. And then the other chargebacks followed, so the other ones from the Dream League boxes and all the other ones, so another 3 lots of chargebacks, which is another $15 on top of that. I could believe it, but I was also shocked that this was actually happening to me, and I was stupid enough to kind of like believe that this person wanted all that happened. And then so it takes a couple days for that chargeback to actually hit your account. And so the reason I'm making this video today is because I kind of blew up this morning. I'm packing up all my orders. I think I have 15 orders to go out of Shiny Star V booster boxes to people in the USA, and I'm going to go pay for it. And I just like to check my bank account in the morning, just to double check that what I paid for is what I paid for, and I'm not getting any fraudulent charges. Lo and behold, I have minus $177 because basically $1,000 has disappeared from my account and gone back to that guy. Usually I always have like $1,000 in my bank account just in case, especially for like shipping reasons. That was like a shock, and I'm kind of like stuck here wondering like, how the hell am I going to ship all 15 boxes to people when I'm always take pride in trying to like get my boxes out to people the next day, or at the very least 2 days. I don't want to be like someone who takes like 5 days to ship something. I'm in a bit of a pickle, and so I was overdrawn $177, and so I had to quickly go into like my personal bank account, and I don't have much money. Like, I am a student with no job. I have to pay for school, I have to pay for rent, I have to pay for electricity, I have to pay for all that stuff that all of you guys probably have to. I threw in $200 to kind of like cover that expense, And then my bank then charges me for being overdrawn. To continue with the story, a lot of you might be asking, well, why didn't there's a way to intercept packages in America, and I'm sure there's ways to do it in Australia, the UK, Europe, everywhere else. And so I quickly went on the USPS website because I've obviously sent tracking with every single package, and I could see that they were in Chicago waiting to be flown to Mexico. And so I'm emailing them and calling them and giving them the tracking, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, like if it's an international package, we can't intercept it. I was kind of like screwed from that point on. I did email the guy. I said, hey, you got like 24 hours to respond to me because this is not on. You can't just be like nicking my stuff. And I can't even remember what I sent to him, but it was along those lines. It was like in the morning. I was like really flustered, and I sent him an email that was it wasn't mean, but it wasn't like a nice like, hey man, can you please send me those boxes back, blah blah blah. It was like, hey, you need to do this. There was no response. So it's not something I look at. I've got 20 orders a day. I don't want to be like stalking people's where they live or whatever, because that's not that shouldn't be allowed. So I never thought about that. But anyway, you might be asking, well, Jebel, how do you know that this guy has scammed you? Maybe, it was an accident. Maybe he accidentally, his bank flagged it. It wasn't him. Maybe he is going to reach out to you. There's a ton of different reasons. All week I've been thinking that. I've been thinking, I hope that he messages me back, and it doesn't look like it, and this is why. One of my followers actually tagged me late last night in a post, and it said, at Pokejebel, I wonder if this is the same person, in reference to who had scammed me. So earlier in the week, I put in, I think it was like 4 Instagram stories where I was like, this is what happened to me. I'm sorry if, I no longer ship to certain countries. I'm kind of tied for cash right now. It's difficult for the store at the moment. So people knew about it straight away, and they weren't going to be disappointed. And so this person here, Beckett Castle TCG, put out a post saying, unfortunately, we're no longer accepting international orders from most countries. We will still accept orders from the US, Canada, and military bases. And they also said in their description, we were scammed by a customer with 3 large orders. We are sorry, we need to take these precautions. Thank you for understanding. That person who tagged me obviously kind of put a red flag up and was like, wait, this is kind of similar to what happened to Pokejebel. I messaged him last night, and or them, should I say, last night, and I said, hey, do you mind telling me the name of the person who scammed you? I also had 4 orders totaling $1,000 scammed. I was wondering if it was the same person. At this point, I'm like, it's very, very unlikely that it's going to be the same person. What are the chances that 2 different stores who live far apart in the USA are going to be scammed by the very same person? Because scamming in Pokemon happens all the time. If you go on Facebook, there are Facebook pages dedicated to basically trade feedback and people getting scammed, and it happens dozens and dozens of times a day. But I thought I would send that message, and he returned with a screenshot of the guy's name, the email address, and the phone number, and I said, unbelievable, that's the same guy. I sent a screenshot from my phone of my order that the guy put in. He replied, ours were 3 orders totaling 940, and he was basically asking me like what has happened since, and I told him, well, it's kind of like in the hands of Shopify at the moment. I have literally no control over what happens, really. But I think I'm gonna message Shopify and be like, yo, like this guy's also being scammed, the same thing. It can happen to 2 people, right? Once is a coincidence that you can mark it as fraud, but marking 2 Pokemon stores as fraud is really, really odd. Yeah, that's basically where I am right now. I'm waiting for March 12th. Nothing has happened. I've lost tons of money. I'm in a really tough position. I haven't been able to pay even my supplier back. My supplier is awesome, and he gives me like time to pay him. I don't actually pay him usually until I have the product in hand, and now I'm not really even able to pay him back. I'm kind of in a huge hole at the moment. And also, for some reason, PayPal is holding my cash, so the people who do pay via PayPal have all their money tied up, so I have to ship out their stuff, and when they get it, will be available on PayPal. It feels like everything is going against me at the moment. I don't want to be feeling sorry for myself. I don't feel that way at all. I just feel annoyed that this storm of events has kind of happened all at once. I've only been doing this for like 3 months on the website, and nothing has happened. Every order has been perfect. There have been the odd time where I forgot a pack or something and I send it again. There's been a couple mistakes here and there, but nothing on the level of this. Like every single time that there's been a mistake by me, I've fixed it and the person's been happier. I've refunded stuff, all that kind of usual stuff that you do as a business, but nothing on the scale of literally losing your product, which is worth, As of today, Dream League boxes are about $120 each. It's just really upsetting to see all that product leave. You're not getting it back, plus the money that was taken from you, plus the chargeback fees, plus now being overdrawn by my own bank. I do have a lot of product that I've already paid for coming in, but you know, with the winter storm, I have no idea where it is. It shipped like 4 days ago and it's still in Japan. It's literally a storm of bad stuff happening right now. It's hurting financially. That's basically the story. It's a long story. I hope you got some information. I don't really know what to tell you in terms of preventing this. It's quite difficult without looking into every single person's personal details and the country they're from and all that stuff, and I hate doing it. I hate the fact that, you know, I'm being very picky in the countries that I'm delivering in. But yeah, I felt like I needed to make this video for you guys. I wish that I had been a bit more conservative in the way that I don't ship to every country. At the present time, a week ago, I had a lot of cash. I've got like 40 or 50 booster boxes pre-ordered. I spent like $3,000 getting cards and other packs in, which are now stuck in Japan. So I've spent like $5,000 on stuff which is on its way, and then left myself with only like $1,000 to play with. And $1,000 is quite a lot. You don't expect to have to refund that. You know, if it was only $200, I think I'd be okay. There's not a lot I can do, unfortunately. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. If you're from one of the countries affected, message me, and you know, if we've done business before, then I'm sure we can figure something out, because our business is run on trust. And if I've trusted you before and you know you've been nothing but a perfect customer, then I don't see why we can't continue. But first time customers will be a bit more difficult, unfortunately. So thank you so much for watching. I don't want any pity or anything. I just wanted you guys to know, you know, my situation. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all those hundreds of nice messages you guys sent on Instagram. I really do appreciate it. It means so much that you guys are there. You got my back, and I do appreciate it. I know I'm not in this by myself. I've got a lot of people behind me. So thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon. Thank you.